What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice comic book Shakers of the Week. We're going to have a special surprise guest that's going to join us in a little bit. He's a friend of the channel for quite a long time. I mean, most of you guys will probably recognize it. But first off, I know you guys have been congregating a bit, but you know, a lot of times people get notifications till the actual show starts. So while you guys are congregating, I got a little special something for you guys. This is my man, DJ Lazy Boy. I picked this little trippy mix. You just sit through it. It's got a little bit of old. It's got a little bit of new. It's got a little bit of metal. It's got a little bit of classic rock. It's just some dubstep. It's crazy. But two reasons I picked him. One, he's a DJ from the Bay Area. And two, he is a cancer survivor and cancer fighter. So shout out to DJ Lazy Boy and everybody who is fighting the fight.
Ciao.
Lazy boy!
Oh shit! I hear another gun set!
And I don't give up.
Walking to the club like, what up? I got a big. I'm just pumped. I bought some from a thrift shop. Ice in the fringe is so damn fast.
Lazy boy!
That's a cold ass honky. Lazy boy!
Dude, that was dope.
That was dope.
Wow.
DJ Lazy Boy from the
Did he have
Bay.
a mushroom hanging from his hat?
Dude, that was
On the
his
side of his head?
that was his homage to Hunter S. Thompson from
Dude,
Fear
that
and
was
Loathing in
great.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
So
dope, dude.
that's for you, my man JB. That's for you,
Wow.
my man JB.
That was awesome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
if you
awesome.
notice, he has a
Fuck cancer,
hole in
man.
his he has a hole in his throat from cancer. So and he had cancer twice. He had remission, and it came back, but he's still fighting. He's still a dope DJ. He just won a DJ Gold Award. Just goes to prove, man. You can fight it. You can
Hell
do
yeah,
amazing things. Speaking of which, hey, my man Mikey Sutton's in the house. Look at that.
Mikey.
Man, how am I supposed to top Hunter S. Thompson?
Right.
As a,
Seriously.
and puppets around him, right? I was a puppet Hunter S. Thompson DJing. At first.
It's like, am I imagining things? Is that Hunter S. Thompson? You know, homage there.
Yep, that is definitely an acid trip. So speaking of acid trips, this show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com. You can sign up for a 2-week free trial or pay $6.99 a month to get the full-blown experience. Show is also sponsored by our friends at KRSComics.com. Go to KRS Comics or KRSPoolbox.com. You get 15% off by using the discount code of LOTLB for off your weekly pulls as well as upcoming variants. And well, I guess you're expecting what variant is dropping tomorrow, right? Because this one dropped on Wednesday.
Nice.
This is dropping tomorrow, boys and girls. This is another Mike Mayhew, Star Wars number 42 homage, War of the Bounty Hunters. This is going to be pre-sale on Friday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Got all
Set your alarms.
Set your alarms, boys and girls. This is definitely the homage for Star Wars 42. Even looks photorealistic on the. I forgot the name of the dude with the headband. I would forget his name. But anyway,
Tugnut.
Yeah. So this list comes from our friends at CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found in their exclusive daily Shakers list. This list changes several times a day, so make sure you check it out every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. And if you stick around after this list, Mikey has somewhat of can I say it's a first look? Is it a first look, Mikey?
It is a first look, yeah. I haven't been posting this, so.
What?
It's a first look of a project that Mikey's working on. It's not a scoop or anything, but you guys, if you guys are into comic books, I think you'll appreciate it. So let's get right to it, boys, girls. Sponsor once again, our friends at CovrPrice. Let's get right to it. So who's starting first? You guys decide on that?
Yeah, we're going. Ready to go, man.
All right. All right. So what do we got up first on the list?
Beware. Terror Tales number 4. This is a Fawcett publication from 1952. That cover is sweet. That is an amazing cover. And while you should know the names like L.B. Cole and Matt Baker, by now you should really get to know the artist of this cover, Bernard Bailey. Bernard was one of the best Golden Age artists / writers. He co-created Spectre and Our Man. But if you look at covers like this and Mystery, Mr. Mystery number 11, a classic buried in an anthill, and number 12, the Hot Poker to the Eye PCH cover, and then you will know that Bernard is an artist that you want to start paying close attention to. This crawling horror cover is our favorite, and it sold for a huge $3,500 for a CGC 9.2. Granted, it's a Spokane pedigree, but still, what a cool cover.
That's
Is
crazy.
I meant just a
Is that like Booger
random
Man?
book.
So
Yeah, that is gnarly.
Look at the back.
I-
Oh my goodness.
I've never
Snot
seen that cover. Wow.
Yeah, so it just goes to show you, man. I mean, it's starting to people start getting these really odd horror comics. That this is an EC book. This is from Fawcett.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Fawcett wasn't really known for doing horror books, right? I mean, that's
I don't
pretty
think
cool. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they
think about
published Captain Marvel, right? Fawcett,
yeah. Shazam. And this is from 1952, and somebody got a 9.2. Good.
Damn.
Lord.
Good
That's
Lord.
amazing how they kept such a great grade on something so old. But
It's so obscure too. Like, who really kept this? You know, like,
yeah. Well, it just goes like part of collecting is on the golden age. If it's
Yeah.
super high grade, people will pay top dollar for it simply because
Absolutely.
it's
Is that
old.
Archie Bunker with eyeshadow?
It looks like it. It has.
I can't
yeah.
unsee that now.
It's like a blob / swamp thing going on there. It's pretty gnarly though. But
Snot Man.
yeah, so we go from before Terror Tales all the way up to
Ooh, something modern
Nice,
too.
sexy.
Edge of Spider-Verse number 2. I'm probably going to say this wrong. The Sia Uyum 5th
Sure.
print comic bug black and white, limited to only 1,500. Now, this was originally published in 2014. While many point to the Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 second print as the rarest cover of Spider-Gwen's first appearance, that title actually belongs to this cover. Limited to 1,500 copies, this black and white variant was a free comic book day exclusive for the Comic Bug in Culver City, California. Featuring new art from Sia Uyum, this cover is noted as the 5th print in the Indicia and was released on May 2nd, 2015, almost 8 months after the first print. With the heat of subsequent printings and the rarity, many don't realize how much time lapses in between some printings like this. This issue is often debated on whether a subsequent printing gets a first appearance or other key designation due to some of these time gaps. The answer is, well, it's complicated. Regardless, this cover had a new high sale of $400 for a raw copy.
damn.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
raw
with
copy.
somebody else in here who said they have the color. I have the color edition of this. I don't
do.
have the black and white limited to 1500, but now I want the black and white limited.
Right. Now I
A lot of
know.
times people are like, "Did you know this is this?" No, but now I want it. Why did you show that to me? Or like like Justin showing the Nemesis one bloody variant. I was like, well, I didn't know that existed, but now I know I want it. So there you go, man. Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the Sia OEM 5th print comic bug, black and white, limited to 1500. So obviously you guys all know Edge of Spider-Verse #2 is the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, who's now Ghost Spider. So this book continues to reach new highs, man. All right, we go.
DeVoe dropped 3,000 copies for the color version. That's not very many either.
Yeah, I met Sia a few years ago. I had no idea she did Marvel work.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, I met her a few
Is
years.
she like Indonesian or is?
I think she's actually. I think she's Filipina actually.
Oh, okay. There you
I could
go.
be wrong, but yeah, I met her. I got a picture with her a few years ago. I bought her. She had a self-release comic book, a graphic novel that I purchased from her. Wow, I had no idea she did.
I had
stuff
no
for
idea it
Marvel.
was a female. I definitely realized that's like an Asian name, but I was like, I had no idea it
Yeah.
was a female. So that's good to know. Thanks, Mikey.
She's
All right, so we
awesome.
go from Edge of Spider-Verse to G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe number 27 to be exact, but this is the Canadian price variant. Newsstands, preview books, subsequent printings, they're all hot. Next up in the queue are price variants. Granted, many have been hot for years now. Mix that with bubbling heat of G.I. Joe comics, and you've got a big sale like this book. And it had a sale of $1,807 for a CGC 9.8. This is actually a pretty key issue that ties directly to the Snake Eyes film. In this issue, it concludes the origins of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. And we learn how Snake Eyes' face was disfigured and why he's mute. In fact, grab those standard copies as well because right now they're fairly cheap.
Yep, G.I. Joe comics
I gotta
are
jump on that,
burning
man.
up. I mean, we won't get too deep into the weeds, but Mikey, I mean, they're building a cinematic universe, right, Hasbro?
Yeah, you really need to get that G.I. Joe versus Transformers now.
I told him, Mikey.
Before you wait too much longer.
I've been telling him, Mikey. Matter of fact, it's sitting here right beside me. It's a miniseries called G.I. Joe versus Transformers. So, I've been telling you guys. So, G.I. Joe, shout out to Matt DeVoe in the live chat. Matt's from CovrPrice. He writes all these wonderful, and does all the research for all this. It's incredible, the amount of research that he does, and still has a regular job. But appreciate you, Matt. So we go on to G.I. Joe.
Didn't Todd McFarlane draw a couple of G.I. Joes too? I mean, shouldn't that go up in value? I mean, it's McFarlane. I don't think he drew too many issues of G.I. Joe.
There's tons of first appearances in the entire G.I. Joe. And then when IDW did it, they also did some, I think there was a female Snake Eyes or something like that, right? Or his daughter or some crap like that. IDW did some other stuff, but the first series of G.I. Joe, go follow him at JLS Comics on YouTube, man. He does some great videos on the history of the G.I. Joes and all the first appearances. It's pretty amazing how many there are, and it's been slept on all this time simply because there's no movie, and it's 2020, 2021, where everything is hyper-priced now.
It's funny, I met Larry Hama at a local con and had him sign a bunch of the Marvel G.I. Joe books that I had. I don't know if there's keys in. I mean, every book probably had a first appearance of someone. There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it was cool to meet him. He was this writer.
Hopefully
and artist
they have him as a consultant on the Snake Eyes film.
Yeah,
so
he better.
Yeah. All right, what do we got up next?
All right, next up we've got, I love this cover.
Risque.
Gen 13, #1, the Jeanette Jackson variant.
I see what they did there.
Right. Originally published in 1995 from Image Comics. Now, when you have to make a list of any key 90s comics, Gen 13 would easily fall in the top 10. This first issue may have been the first book to have multiple covers, 13, of course. It was a challenge collecting them all. This series introduced us to J. Scott Campbell, who quickly landed in the top 10 writers, artists, and top 10 books list for several months in Wizard magazine. Seriously, Gen 13 was the hottest thing in 1995.
Oh, yeah.
With J. Scott Campbell is one of the industry's elite comic book artists and 90s nostalgia running strong, this issue has seen market movement. This Janet Jackson Rolling Stones homage hit an all-time high sale of $350 for a 9.8. Also, a rare #1 cover A newsstand sold for $310. So as we return to the world, Take a second look at these early Image titles when you're digging through those dollar convention boxes and back issues.
So, for the kids that don't know, a magazine was a thing that you could open up and read, and there was pictures of it. Rolling Stone was very famous
Very
magazine
popular
for the
magazine.
music industry, and Janet Jackson did a cover where she was. I mean, this is way before the what was that? The wardrobe malfunction on the Super Bowl. It was this cover was somewhat risque for its time. But
Can I make a request? Can we have KRS have Natalie Sanders do an homage
Right?
Yeah.
to
Oh
those?
man,
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
perfect? She would be
that's
perfect for that.
amazing.
I don't know if they can get away with doing that nowadays, though. Holding boobies like that in the '90s. Covers were I don't know. You say.
You can have Nellie Sanders drawing Power Girl in the Janet Jackson. Imagine how many copies that'll sell. I mean,
Yeah, if it's
seriously.
Power Girl's chest, you would need at least 4 sets of hands because you can't contain those with just 2 hands. So there you go. So Gen 13, number 1, the Janet Jackson cover from 1995. What do you got up next, Ryan?
Next up is Spider-Man India number 1. A few years ago, it was rumored that Spider-Man India may appear in Into the Spider-Verse Part 2 for Sony's Pictures animation. We've mentioned how important it is to pick up all the various Spider characters after looking at what Noir, Spider, Ham, Gwen, Miles, and 2099 are all doing in the aftermarket. Well, even with the rumor, Spider-Man India literally went from a $1 raw book and $55 at 9.8 to this week's new massive high of $795. And that isn't even just one off, because that sale, it sold for $500 twice and then $700. Raw steadily sell for 40 plus. And despite actually being a great story, Spider-Man India has lingered in dollar bins for the past 16 years. So these are out there in back issues bins. Go get them. Go
Yeah.
get them.
If there's
got
a
one.
Bollywood movie that comes out with Spider-Man India, this book will explode. Since India's got a population of over 1 billion, right?
I'm on the leaderboard.
Well, that one scene in the Eternals trailer, you never know.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm on the
I mean,
leaderboard with this one book.
yeah, plus it's a pretty dope cover too. I like the way it's kind of looks like it's painted, but obviously it's digital. But it's just one of those books that fell under the radar that people have gone back, in 2005 and seen these one-offs and wondering, what if maybe it'll show up in this, the Into the Spider-Verse, since they seem to be pulling out a lot of interesting characters, right? I mean, I would love to see it. That would be dope. But either way, man, if you see it, snatch it up, man. They're starting to go up in value. All right, what do we got up next?
All right, next up, we've got Street Fighter versus Dark Stalkers number 1, the Art Germ 1 in 20 variant, originally published in 2017 from Udon Comics. Now, there are a bunch of valuable Street Fighter comics. Talk about nostalgia. Anyone who has played a fighting game has Street Fighter 2 Turbo to thank for it. We also got some amazing anime series and a not so great live action film, actually multiple if you count The Legend of Chun-Li and Smallville's Kristen Krug. So Darkstalkers is a little less known, unless you're like us and naturally moved into Marvel vs. Capcom and Puzzle Fighter. The comic series is also way undervalued. Then you add in a gorgeous Art Germ incentive variant and you get a pricey comic, which sold for a hefty $255 raw this week.
Dang.
Check out another of our favorite SF covers, Warren Lou's Incentive for issue number 2. You got a picture of that one?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, but I should. But all I remember is Darkstalkers is for the that girl right there on the cover and her rather buxom bosom. They drew. I could have swore there were. I've seen the Darkstalkers anime. I'm trying to remember if there was a comic book or not, and I definitely remember there was a Darkstalkers game. That came out way back when, but this was from Udon Comics from 2017. If you had that on your 2021 bingo card, you're heading in the right direction, my friend.
No way.
I dig it, man.
I love
Very
Art
sexy.
Germ's work. He's brilliant. I love
Thank
his
God he's
art.
progressing, man. For a few years there, everybody kind of looked the same, so at least he's finally progressing in his art. Yeah. All right, what do we got up next, Ryan?
Tales to Astonish, number 90.
Hey.
Yeah, another little Silver
I
Age
like it.
Marvel.
Nice.
We had an abomination of a sale this week with a CGC 9.8 copy of Sales to Astonish 90 selling for a record $19,200.
God.
Can you believe it? This first appearance of the Abomination from 1967 was a sale that even the Hulk would have a tough time fighting against. The prior record for this book was just $6,888 from August of last year, giving us a jump of almost 180%, or over to $12,300 in less than 1 year. Granted, the spike is specifically due to Tim Roth's return to the character in the upcoming She-Hulk Disney Plus series. In the long term, there's some speculation that we could see him in a possible Thunderbolts team at some point in the MCU. So this overlooked first appearance is finally getting its day in the sun.
19 grand though.
19
You gotta
grand.
be a really
Yeah.
big Abomination fan.
I think at
But you
that
know what?
point, the spec is gone. But get those lower grade ones. Who knows?
Well, I mean, you also it's a 9.8 for a I guess you can call it a,
1967.
yeah, and it's
That's
minor
Silver
key.
Age.
But you know, it's just it's one of those blips. Like you know, like somebody criticized us one time saying, "Hey, we're giving a false equivalency of what the market is." No, we're pointing out things that we think are. That's why we look at these and we wonder why are they going up in value. And if it's one, because later on when I go into the CovrPrice website, we'll look this up and you could show there's a huge increase in price from one to the other, and it's also a sign of 2021. I mean, if you're got your head in a hole and you don't realize that there's other people that are coming in from other collectibles that are bringing a large influx of cash, I will point you to the new sales for
guess what? A lot of people made a lot of money on Bitcoin and crypto, and when they cash out of that shit, they got money to spend.
Yep, GameStop stock went back up again as well. Same with AMC Theaters. So you know,
what are they going to spend their money on?
Comic books, because you can't
Good
get your
Lord.
shit. You can't get your grading cards graded at PSA anymore for now, at least. So
For
there
a
you
year.
go. Tales to Astonish number 90, 9.8 sold for $19,200, which seems like a ton of money to us, but it could be some rich dude who's like, you know what? Let me just buy this.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Let me sell these 100 shares of GameStop, and then you just go buy this, and there you go, man. All right, what do we got next? Ooh, I like this.
This is a crazy story. Okay, ready for this, folks? Voltron, a Legend Forged #1, the Frison cover, originally published in 2008 from DDP. Now, Jenny Frison is an American artist who's been doing published comic work since 2008. She is well known for her work on series such as Red Sonja, Vampirella, Revival, and more recently, Wonder Woman. Frison's first published comic work has a bit of a story to it. The first piece she created was actually /the series number 14, cover B. She completed it ahead of her deadline, but received an urgent request to provide an alternative cover to another DDP publication, Voltron, a Legend Forged #1. So while she had completed the /cover first, /the series number 14 was set to release on August 6th of 2018, and the Voltron #1 was published 3 weeks earlier on July 16th, 2018, making it Frison's first published comic book art. Both books are highly sought after by Frison collectors and hard to find in the wild. The /14 only has 12 total copies on the CGC census and no 9.8s, while the Voltron 1 has 34 copies on the census and a meager 3 universal copies in a 9.8 condition. As to value, a CGC 9.8 copy of the Voltron, a Legend Forged #1 Frison variant, just sold for an all-time high of $1,027, besting the previous high of $950 set back in February.
All right, somebody made some money.
So this is because it's Jenny Frison's first published work. And I could definitely say the people who are reading current comics, like Something Is Killing the Children, are becoming Jenny Frison fans. I think she did some DC stuff as well. So a lot of times people go back to they see a hot artist. Everybody knows Coyote, Todd McFarlane. Jim Lee's work, Rob Liefeld's first work. People starting to look for Artgerm's first work, or Mark Brooks' first work, Adam Hughes' first work. I think we had that on our list last week. It was the Adam Hughes first work. I'm a huge Michael Turner fan, so I have Michael Turner's first series. His first work was in Ballistic, and then he did a book called Devil's Messiah, which was like the first. It was like a non-image book, but I do believe his first work was a little mini series on Image called Ballistic, because I'm a huge Turner fan. So I can see how people are doing that for Jenny Frison now, or Frison, or Frozone, whatever her name is. But Voltron, A Legend Forged #1 for Devil's Due Publishing. Are they even in business anymore? I don't think they're in business anymore.
I
But
have no idea.
I think they're gone now, right? I haven't heard from them in ages.
yeah, well, I guess the devil was due, and he came and paid, and he came for his calling. All right, next up is it's a good chance for everybody to get on the list now.
Goodie. I'll
Yeah,
see a bunch of
that's
ones.
everybody.
All right. We
Wow.
have a winner. Watchmen #1. If we had to make a list of modern books that every collector should own, this book would be high on that list. What Alan Moore contributed to comics with this book is immeasurable. So when you look at how much content drives sales these days, it's refreshing to see important comics like this go for a ride. This week, it hit an all-new high sale of $998 for a CGC 9.8. You think it'll hit $1,000? Let's see it get $1,000. Come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless something else, like the Watchmen series on HBO came and went, and it really didn't move the needle on the price of this. Unless they were to do another Watchmen series or something. You hear anything about Watchmen, Mikey?
No, I haven't. But there's like potential there to have a Rorschach show, right? I mean, I'm just surprised they're not, doing something like that, or the Minutemen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff that they can do, but we're getting Our Man instead. So, I was just watching Justice Society World War II, and it was funny because they're like, Our Man is part of the Justice Society team, and in his movie, he goes, "All right, quick, man, I got about 3 minutes left before I'm totally useless." It's like, oh my god, that's awful. He goes, "We only got this guy for a little bit more," and then I think he recharges after 24 hours. He gets the 1 hour again charged. So,
oh my god, there's some characters that just they're just dated.
I'm just saying, if you were a supervillain, you could pretty much time your crimes around what Our Man is doing, right? Know the last time he powered up. But anyway, Watchmen #1 from 19. I still think this is undervalued for the significance it holds in the comic history. You know what I mean?
The historical value of this is, my God.
Exactly. Yeah. Alan Moore hates it, or at least hates the movies. But hey. All right, Watchmen. It is Alan Moore, right?
Yeah,
it's Alan Moore, yeah.
Corrects me again. All right, so last one on the list, boys and girls. What is it?
All right, well, before we get to the last one, I just want to have a nice shout out to this fantastic live chat. Once again, the best live chat on YouTube. If you guys are enjoying the show, please do take a moment to hit that thumbs up. It's good for that YouTube algorithm. All right, next up, we've got X-Force #23, the Clayton Crane Underworld Homage, the 1 in 15 variant, originally published in 2010 from Marvel Comics. Now, if you recall, Marvel was super into themed variants for 2010 and 2011. In early 2010, their horror Homage cover series did well. However, over the years, certain issues rose faster than others. This homage to Kate Beckinsale's Underworld by Clayton Crane has been pricey for the past 4 years, mostly ranging from $50 to $100. However, this week's new raw sale of $194.99 is putting it into a whole new class of variants. That's a sick cover, bro.
That's a sexy cover. And hey, if you have this cover, come to San Diego on July 16th and get it signed at the KRS headquarters.
That's right.
I'll be there.
There will be a Clayton Crane signing at KRS HQ in beautiful Chula Vista, California on July 16th. He'll be there signing all your ones, so you definitely want to get that one signed. Where is it? This one, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Although I think Beckinsale fills out her booty a little bit more so than this cover, though. You know what I mean? So still cool though. I totally see the resemblance to the Underworld movie poster.
Oh yeah.
But I think she had a bit more clothing on in the poster. To be honest,
She was covered in leather.
Yeah. Before we get started, and going over to CovrPrice and looking at today's shakers, Mikey, what can you tell us about this upcoming project you got before I start showing these pictures?
So yeah, I've been working on this since 2018, actually, before I had a stroke, and originally it was going to be a shoujo comedy at that point. And I've written a comic book. It's coming out in August. And what happened was I couldn't write that damn comedy. I mean, like I can joke around on air and stuff, but writing comedy is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, it's not working. My artist is actually a very famous visual designer in the Philippines. Had no idea at the time he contacted me. He goes, hey, I want to work with you. I had no idea how big this guy was. He is the main visual designer on Philippine television. He's working on Voltus 5 right now, the giant mecha show, live action. And he was working on that while drawing my comic book. So
what's the comic called? Have you got
well,
a name for it?
I can't announce the title yet.
All right.
It comes out in August, but the big news, I've been holding this for a while now, is that the first issue will have a Lords of the Long Box variant cover. Yes. Yes.
Oh, nice.
We'll get a variant
That's
cover.
cool. That's cool.
And
That's cool, man.
it's going to pay homage to a certain famous cover. I won't say what it is, but you guys are on the cover. So
What's can you give us a basic, really? And I'm going to show the first image here. And can you tell us what the plot or basis, the summation? What's the comic story about?
I like it already.
Yeah. So this right here is a dream sequence in the comic book, and the dreams in the book give clues about what the overall story arc is about. And she's a young Filipina girl with supernatural powers, and it's going to build from there. Now, the story behind this character here is that originally she was a shoujo comedy character, but in 2018, after my stroke, I discovered an actress named Kate Valdez in the Philippines, and I modeled the character after her. And
Looks
so
dead
when
on
I
just
was
like her.
yeah, and when I was on the phone with her, we were talking about, what shows we like and everything. And she goes, I really like The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. I started watching it and it hit me. Why am I writing this a comic? It should be a horror book. That's my natural element. So I turned it into a horror book. And if you look at these panels here, you can't even imagine this being a comedy.
No.
I mean, just look at this right here, and
that's brutal.
Yeah, that's a kid murdering somebody, bludgeoning them with
a hammer.
If you guys, Google Kate Valdez. If you follow Mikey's son, he's pushing her to be Wave in the comic books. Kate for Wave. People are asking when it's coming out. I don't think you can disclose it yet, or you can the publishers or anything yet, right?
Yeah, it'll be coming out in August. I'll have all the information released soon. The comic book has just now been finished. I was waiting for the art. And it's just surreal looking at these pages. I'm just like, I can't believe it. Like the stuff I wrote is materializing, This same artist will draw the variant cover with TiVo and the crew.
Nice.
Wow.
So you guys
there
are
you go.
Get this level art.
This is like this is like one of those Entertainment Tonight first look. This is the first time anybody's seen the inside. I've seen some of these, but I have not seen the finished art yet. So this is gorgeous.
Very pretty.
Can you tell people what the name of the artist is?
Yeah, his name is Noel Leon Flores.
Noel Leighton Flores, guys.
Yeah, Leon, Layon. He was the lead visual designer on a show called Encantadia, which was the biggest fantasy show on Philippine television. It was like their Game of Thrones, basically.
but more
And-
fantasy. Like
Yeah,
Game of
very
Thrones is like
fantasy.
low fantasy, and
Oh,
Kata
yeah.
is like high fantasy.
Full on fantasy, yeah, all the costumes
but
and everything.
but he's also doing the graphics for Volta's 5, right?
Yeah, Bonus 5, yeah, he was doing that while doing this. It's like,
Let me, you know what? For those who don't know and think, it's all low. Let me just see if I can find that Voltage. It's on Netflix, right?
yeah, and that's gonna
Or
be
excuse
on
me, YouTube, right? The
yeah,
trailer.
on YouTube, yeah. There's a little trailer on YouTube for it.
Let
It's
me,
pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
Congratulations, Mikey, on this. This is amazing.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
And
Very
the chat is
congratulations.
really excited about this.
Huge.
Everyone's
Thank
asking.
you.
Is
If
it
you
gonna be
guys
in the
want to know what,
previews and
yeah.
when is it
Well,
available?
let me
man,
drop this in the
this
live
would be
chat.
nice.
And I might have bigger news soon. I am getting offers already for film and TV, but I can't discuss that right now. But let's just say it's a big deal. It's a big deal. What a blessing it was for me to meet her and have her be a part of this, because it's becoming a bigger deal now because of that. And it's funny because when I was writing this, no one knew who I was. Even Tiva didn't know who I was when I started writing this. But Spider-Gate happened while I was writing it, and all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, I have a market for my book now.
Yeah, I totally want to see that Voltage 5. I hope they release it in the US with I'll turn on subtitles, but I dropped the trailer in the live chat.
Yeah.
If you're into like Japanese giant mech, the graphics that they did on this trailer.
Could you play the trailer here? Would that be allowed?
The guy who designed that show, they did my comic book, so it's
You know what?
Play
I
the
can
trailer.
play it, right?
Yeah,
You know what?
play it.
I
Play
will
it?
play the trailer. Yeah, hold on. All right, let me figure out how to do it. Last time I did this, we got a channel shut down.
You know what? Hey, you got to take chances in life.
You got to take chances in life. So let me share.
As you see the trailer, keep in mind this guy is drawing the Lords of the Lone Box variant cover. So
okay, let me go share audio as well. So everybody, mute yourselves, and we'll enjoy this trailer here. Let me go full screen on both. How's that look?
that looks great.
All right. So sit back and enjoy, boys and girls. And we'll just mute so you guys don't hear us, so you can hear the audio on it. Oops, I clicked the wrong play. I clicked the play on that one. All right. Oh,
That looks dope.
Fuck,
That looks
yes.
so dope.
Yeah, so that's the artist.
That's
That's
the
the
artist.
artist.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
This is gonna be
he-
cool.
So I
Congrats.
asked TiVo for mugshots of all of you so he can draw you guys for the
That's
for the
amazing.
variant
That is
cover.
so
That's cool.
dope.
So-
I've been sitting on this for literally a year now.
Yeah, you have been, like-
talking about. I haven't been able to talk about it, so I'm stoked that it's finally coming out, man. So let's look at what's shaking to this week, boys and girls. Well, actually today. Let me just. I don't want to show off. Should I?
Don't- but
I'm
Tebow,
really
you have to
tempted to.
admit, I want to thank whatever developer has updated the prices or the values to something that's more current, because now I look forward to seeing the change in my collection's value based on the actual market moving, because that's what we're seeing. We're
Damn.
seeing your actual, good Lord, you're seeing your.
Although
saw
that's not
when did that happen?
current.
There's another one that eclipsed this price. That's the first
by
appearance.
$3,000.
That's the first appearance of Shang-Chi. That's why I know, because I looked at it, I go, what? So a 9.8 just sold for 14.4, And then there's another one that's close to 16,000 right now. So apparently it took a trailer for all you guys to start buying up the first appearance of Shang-Chi, but we appreciate you.
I mean, I guess those of you who have the Shang-Chi 9/8s, they appreciate
no, 9/2s, all the books are all going up. So let's see what's shaking.
Ooh, Black Cat, it has to be the first one.
All right, because I don't
look at that, dude. That cover is sick.
Oh, that's a grisly cover there.
And this is pre-horror. This is pre-code.
That is
wicked.
Shocking horror radiates from
children's
white meat.
mind.
Okay, now who's the artist?
Reference somewhere in
Somebody in the live chat will look this up and tell us who the artist is. $18,000 for a 7.0 sold yesterday.
I can see why.
What's the highest?
Because this is pre-horror code. It was books like this that Congress said, we can't allow our kids to get, first Reefer Madness, now this. What's going on? Damn it. But good Lord, can you imagine that? So I can see why they decided to make the comics code when little kids were going up. Hey, Mama, can I buy this comic book? Yes, son, here's your 10 cents. And then they come back with this. And
look at the highest ever.
I mean, we're all used to this by now, decades of horror films. But can you imagine being back in the 50s?
Oh, yeah.
Watching Leave It to Beaver and seeing the set of drugs.
Right.
So the highest known value was sold in 2020 for $28,000 for a 9.2. And so this one is a 7.0. Wow.
That's worth it.
you just don't see stuff like this, man. But there you go, Black Cat. So we got the let's see what's happening with this. I don't know if you guys been paying attention or not, but somebody got cast as Craven recently. It was Quicksilver, I believe.
Right?
Yeah.
I was shocked by that casting. That's not who I would have cast.
I think he's a great actor. I think he could pull it off. Highest known value sold today. A 9.6 sold for 18 grand, and I guarantee you it's because of the news of casting.
Man, I gotta go get mine graded. Holy
what are you waiting for? A 0.5 sold today for $515.
A 0.5.
What?
A 0.5, meaning a half of a grade.
What, it has
Meaning
no
the cover is there. It's not actually attached. It was there when it was present.
So there you go, man.
They passed on Carl Urban though.
This is also surprising today because I think it's the first time they officially announced that Oscar Isaac was going to be playing Moon Knight, right? It's the first official announcement, although everybody kind of figured it out. Yeah, we all knew, right? So this is his first solo series. First appearance of Moon Knight in a solo series, and it sold yesterday. Somebody must have been like, hey, I know there's going to be a picture dropping. $3,500 for a 9.8 is the highest known value. So, obviously people who couldn't afford, Werewolf by Night 32, which is astronomical already, get the next best thing.
I got a question, TiVo. So I bought this on spec over a year ago because you and I knew about Moon Knight long before it was announced.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, the Rampaging Hulk magazine had like a Moon Knight series in the back, and it was the first time that Doug Monch and Bill Sienkiewicz did Moon Knight. No one was specking on it, to my knowledge.
And you shouldn't have told everybody about it because now they're all going to buy it. You should have just told us.
I already have 3 copies, so it's okay.
What's it called?
Rewind.
It's a Rampaging Hulk.
Rampaging Hulk.
Yeah, because there's a Moon Knight backup in that magazine.
Any idea what issue number?
Oh man, I don't remember. I mean, I have it my files here somewhere, but
let me take a look here. From 1977.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's gonna be hard to find a 9.8. It's a magazine, so.
All right, which one of these looks familiar to you?
Right.
Keep going.
Look at this craziness.
Those are all of them.
Wow, there's not many of them.
No, those. No, it's not. That's the first one. Definitely not.
So it's not in this series then?
No, it's not in that series. No, it's probably in the.
Well, that's the only series though, because of
Really?
1998.
78.
Wait, no, I think they changed the name to just Hulk. I think, right?
Rampaging
Hulk. It's got to be one of these. So here you go, guys. Go and dig these out. There is a Moon Knight.
If you look for the Moon Knight, the Moon Knight backup, it's by the regular Moon Knight team that.
And just for shits and giggles, Let's see what Werewolf by Night 32 is doing today after the announcement.
Got one sitting.
Oh,
at
hey
CGC.
Tim, they're saying the Hulk the Hulk issue 13.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Oh, so it's
So
the
type
Hulk
in the Hulk.
magazine.
Yeah, they
number
changed
13.
the name to just Hulk. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I wonder how I'm gonna find this. Well, you know what? Narrow it down by just doing this, and then you'll see all the Hulk 13. So let's see.
Because that has the team that would do the '80s series.
Okay, let's see. Is it in here? It's a magazine, right?
Yeah.
Nope. May have to ask our man Matt if it's in there.
Matt.
That from Newton Comics, Australia. Wow, there's all kinds of cool stuff in here. There you go, boys and girls. Something for you to look at. You learn a little bit something every time when you go on the Lords. Let's just continue to go through the shake. Look at that. Fun Comics.
That's cool.
From 1936, boys and girls.
Wow.
More Fun Comics issue number 3. Wow, that seems cheap to me.
That seems really cheap.
You can buy a comic from 1936 that's a 7.0 for $2,900. Even though it doesn't have any first appearances, I mean that's a piece of history in your hands, and it's a 7.0 from 1936.
TiVo, real quick, the chat did come through. It was Rampaging Hulk issue number 13 is what I'm seeing in the chat.
Yeah, I'm seeing on eBay now for about $125.
Yeah, I don't show
Rampaging
it
Hulk 13.
Well, there you go. You guys have something to look forward to now. Just go out and dig it, dig in them
Bill
long boxes.
Sienkiewicz, first Moon Knight.
Oh, speak of the devil. Here we go.
There it is.
Werewolf by Night 32.
Raw Dog
Jesus
for
Christ!
20.
Yesterday,
Oh,
a raw
yeah.
comic sold for $2,200. You want to see what the
Wow.
highest known value is? $50,000.
What? Oh
For
my god!
9.8,
That's
50
insane.
grand. A 9.8 was before, I would say, like 4 or 5 years ago. Before really people were like, you know what, Moon Knight's bound to come. I'm gonna start snatching these up. You can get a 9.8 in like 1,500 5 years ago. So now a 9.8, I don't want to. If you buy one now after the announcement is like wow, but 50 grand for not, and that was 2019. I'm trying to think.
Not even an adjustment on that.
I'm trying to think. Was that right around D23 when they announced Moon Knight? It's probably right around there, 2019. Hey, our good friend Captain Britain. Always good to see him on here. This is the UK first appearance of Captain Britain. 26.38 for 9.8. Not bad at all. I would pay that. I think there's plenty of room for Captain Britain to grow and beyond
That's
this
not
price
even its
range.
highest known value. I mean, that's
Yeah,
400
highest known's
below
only
its highest
3,000.
known value.
Yeah, it's only 3,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna blow up because I think there are many copies that were destroyed because the mask is missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also hard to find in a high grade too. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, because UK book. I think the
I had a
size of it as well.
9.4.
Yeah, you have a
And
9.4.
I had a 9.4.
Oh well,
and I sold it. Yeah, I know.
Sucks to be you, nerd.
Years ago, like 4 years ago.
Look at this.
Before I forget, tune in to Letters to the Long Box on Sunday if you like Werewolf by Night.
There you go.
You're
I
gonna
heard
wanna
that.
hear it.
Is that- I think that's premonitions of a cannonball, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Here we go. So that's a shame that I own 3 of these. That's just disgusting.
Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
I'm sorry. 8.0 sold for $13.49.
Nice.
I don't think the sales have been updated yet to reflect the new one. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
from April 14,004, there was I don't know if it was an eBay auction or where, but there's a current auction going on, and right now it's at 16,700. So that just goes to show you trailers.
Check out the 8.5. What's the 8.5 going for?
I got mine for $8. That was in 2014.
Yep.
Because I got the scoop in my. I was on the convention for Emerald City Comic Con, and one of my insiders said Miss Marvel, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. I bought all their first appearances.
You're just like, let me go buy all these. Yeah. So there you go. That's not bad at all. I'm at 8.5. Jeez, 8.5s are really moving up there too.
Right.
I mean,
They're all
but
gonna move up.
Yeah, but you see how it went from 700. There's a nice
Nice.
slow progression, and this is when we say when things progress in this kind of motion, that's normal market trends because of something is, as opposed to a book that just randomly pops up for 20,000, that's 8,000 more than anybody else paid. That's just a rich dude just saying, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm gonna buy this regardless of what the price is. Basically what it boils down to. But look at that. This remember
Homage, yeah, get
this.
Get
This
it.
this is Star Wars number 42. First appearance of Boba Fett. First full comic appearance of Yoda. 9.6 sold for $11.52. Highest known value is $6,600.
It's a 9.9.
for a
though.
9.9.
Yes.
Wow, a 9.9 from when did this come out?
70.
70s.
19,
Yeah.
no, it's came out in the 80s.
Oh, is
I
this
have
80s in the
I have a
1980.
Philippine
80.
I have a Philippine variant of Star Wars number 2. I wonder if that's worth anything.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I think in this day and age, hell yeah, anything.
I think
'cause,
Star Wars, right? I mean, Star Wars is just a hot book right
Well,
now.
Star Wars and foreign variants are getting really popular.
anything really. I mean, if you look at all the different, all the different things. Possible Defect says, look at Marvel Premiere. I think we already looked at Marvel Premiere 28. It was on the Shakers list, but since you just got here, we'll show you again, Slowpoke. Did you say Marvel Spotlight or Marvel
Premiere.
Marvel Premiere? All
must have
right,
been.
my bad. I thought you meant Marvel Spotlight. There's so many of them.
Check it out.
Marvel Premiere 28. Shit, yeah, I'm off. Hold on.
You're 10 off,
Yeah, only 10 off. All right.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Remember this, Mikey?
Oh yeah.
This is one of the Lord's
I have one of
early
these.
spec from like 2 years ago. It was Legion of the
Yeah.
Monsters. Raw comic, May 27, $100.
Yeah, it's
Not
just
bad.
a matter of time before somebody steals that scoop and claims it as their own. So
Yeah, so a 9.8 and 1320. That's not bad
That's
at all,
the
man.
highest known.
That is the highest known, $1,320. So yeah, man. But come on, this was like 9.8. You could probably get this for like $200 a few years ago. So yeah, but not good enough to get on the Shakers though. Sorry, Charlie. Starkist wants his tuna. Let's see what else is shaking. We still got a few more minutes here. There was something at the very bottom I was looking at.
let's see what you missed it.
Ooh, you're going through that fast, man.
Dr. Afra. The
No.
pictures of Jane
Go
Foster.
back up. Go back up. There was some good stuff you zipped through.
You mean DC stuff is what you're saying?
No, just cool.
There's no way that was 600.
We don't need to see
Harbinger?
Marvel Fallout. We've seen Marvel Fallout 1,000
Killing me.
times. Ooh, wow, look at all
Turtles
famous
are still
funnies.
hot. Famous funnies with Buck Rogers.
That's cool.
Come on.
That.
I'd rather see
That's
that
cool.
than
1954 Buck Rogers.
that's cool.
This
it's
is
not a Frazetta cover, is it? Is that a
Quite
Frazetta cover?
possibly.
I can't tell.
You got flying saucers. You got
Somebody will tell us in the
you
live
got
chat.
Bumpy.
Somebody told us it was a Frazetta cover when we looked at it last time. I go, no, I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
look
this
at
is
that.
a key comic.
2.5. 2.5.
This is a comic with a classic cover. That's what makes it a key comic. How cool is that? You got chicks falling out of
Those
the-
are hard to find. Those are really hard.
From 1954.
Good luck.
Highest known value is 9.0 for $4,500, man. But Eastern Color Comics. Wow, that's amazing, man. That's pretty cool. Little Buck Rogers action and a little Marvel Spotlight. With I dig these. I
Strange
don't know what it is. I just dig these covers, man. Amazing science fiction. This is Strange Adventures number 3 from 1950. So it's early DC. 8.5 for $995. Not bad at all. You just don't see. It's just you don't see many of these. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it cool, man.
Love those vintage sci-fi covers, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love robots and spaceships,
Oh,
like
yeah.
what they thought were spaceships back in the 50s. Everything was
Retro
really
art, it's just awesome.
one of my favorite Wonder Woman covers of all time.
Bowling, yeah.
Yep, Brian Bowling, classic cover. Look at that. I mean, it was such a classic cover. They modeled a statue after it. But
That's how good it is.
Bowling is easily my favorite Wonder Woman cover artist, easily, hands
Yeah,
down. So,
yeah.
1970, Wonder Woman 72 from 1993, and unfortunately, I sold mine. But $1,000 for 9.8, not bad at
It
all.
was so cool that Bolin drew the cover of an issue of Amazing Heroes that I was in. So I was like, it's a Bolin cover.
Nice.
cool.
Clone Wars.
Eternals.
Eternals has got to be
Hey.
heating up, right? All the
Hey,
X-Men keys are on fire.
I have,
You own 2 of those?
I own
Good
two. I own
Lord.
2 and a
Man,
9.6.
hoarder.
Look at that.
One of them's
9.6
getting
is looks
sold.
like it's gonna break the 1,000 mark. All right.
I
What's
own
your
four-
number?
I own
When are you
4.
selling that? When are you selling that? When's that going up?
Possibly Sunday. I have 2 of them. One is a new label and one is an old label. I'm keeping the old label because it probably hasn't been pressed before, and I'm going to sell the new label. And I can tell you right now, I bought them both for $200 each, $250 each, 9.6s. This was like right when they're. I mean, Eternals has been low price for the longest time, even after the movie was announced, because everybody was like, they thought they were outpriced of Eternals #1, so they started getting like Eternals #2 or 13 or 6 or whoever all
Well,
the
there's
first
so
appearances.
many keys. Yeah, 3, 5.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the one to get. I mean, you know,
Oh, it was
so-
a dollar book for such a long, like decades.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
a dollar
yeah.
book. No one wanted those.
just like New Gods. Nobody wanted
Yeah, New
that,
Gods.
you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Thunderbolt.
Nobody still wants New Gods.
Yeah, even DC doesn't want it.
So what's interesting is this is I own one of these too. This is because of seeing Kit Harington in the Eternals trailer. So looks like people are like, hey, I just saw the Black Knight on screen. I gotta go buy it now. So first appearance of Dane Whitman later becomes a Black Knight, $9.99 for a 9.0. 9.8, $5,000 for the Black Knight. The Black Knight.
I remember a Black Knight spec way back. I hope you guys remembered that.
This is I have both of them, but this is my more favorite of the covers because obviously he actually appears on the cover.
On the cover.
Yeah, so first appearance of Dane Whitman as the Black Knight.
Yeah, these were shit. What,
7,200.
2 years ago?
Damn.
Oof, man.
Good
What about the Black Knight
Lord.
from the 50s, though? Like the original Black Knight.
Oh, that one is that one's you're super priced out of that
by
one. But,
Stan Lee and Joe Manili.
yeah, this is one of those
Warlock,
funny
that's cool.
those funny Spawn covers that are just uber rare.
Man, I
1100.
haven't seen a new issue of Spawn in a comic book store in like a decade. I didn't even know it's still being published.
Oh yeah, they're coming out with the new King Spawn book that's coming out pretty soon as
Wow.
well. So hey, let's look at Ryan's book, Young Avengers #1. Let's
that
see if
nonsense.
let's look at the variant for this and see if it's possible to find it. There it goes.
Oh,
there it
that
is.
one. Yeah, the wizard.
The Young
Yeah, that book's
Avengers.
gonna get higher and higher. It's not gonna
Oh,
stop.
Oh my
2174 for 9.5.
Which is a
Highest
nice.
known
Yeah.
value is 3,051. So, and this is just somebody on a Facebook forum. I won't say which Facebook group it was and who the person asked was. They literally asked, "Should I crack this so I can see if I can get a 9.8?" And I was just like,
my god.
"No, you don't." For those who don't know, there's about 9 different versions of this. I don't know them right off the top of my head, but let me go
there are a
and
few
stop
of 'em.
sharing. But they're not all just Young Avengers. It's like some other issues that they did this for Wizard World and these special 9.5s. They're basically 9.8s that they just did special for. And I think it was just for Wizard World Los Angeles. I don't know if Matt's still in the live chat or not, but they took about 7 or 8, 9 different titles, and Young Avengers just happens to be the one that's a #1 issue and has a ton of first appearances. But there's other random issues that they did that has the special 9.5 moniker attached to it. So anytime you see the red 9.5, if you're a new collector, just buy it. Just buy it because they're super rare. Wizard World isn't nearly as there was at one point. There you go. Oh, well, let me highlight that guy.
Oh, highlight it again.
Yeah, let me show that motherfucker off.
Damn.
Nice.
Do you want to crack that and see if you can get a
Yeah,
9.9?
maybe I should probably get it
Crack this,
pressed.
Crack it out.
I needs a pressing, man, because it's only a 9.5.
Yeah. Jeez, look at what you do. Man, what a loser, 9.5.
There's
Can't even get a
only- let's see.
9.6. Just look on the back of there, Ryan,
258 of these.
and tell us the dates of all those shows. Yeah, look at that. Look how prominent, or I don't know, prominent, but how big Wizard World used to be. That was their,
man,
like,
they were
they
huge.
wanted to be the next San Diego Comic-Con. Look at all the shows that they were doing in 2005. That's Texas, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, and then Los Angeles were all shows they were just doing in 2005. Fast forward to 2019, you'd be hard pressed. I don't know how many shows they're doing now, but I'm telling you, man, if I had the money, I would buy Wizard and redo the magazine because
Yeah.
we need a publication like that nowadays. But I guess they just think because there's websites, but people listen to what Wizard says. Overstreet failed big time by not sticking up to the modern times, right? Let us do a price guide that comes out quarterly, which makes no sense at all. Who cares? People, I mean, I get it. It's nostalgia and people buy it. It's like buying a Playboy and reading it for the editorials. But, Overstreet needs, if to get a true competitor to whomever, be it CGC or whatever, like if Overstreet were to do a weekly magazine or something like that. But I think
Overstreet should do a website. Like
they have a blog that looks like it was made for
really?
AOL from 1995.
It probably was.
Awful. It's because the guys do it part-time or they're contributors part-time. They don't do it full-time.
It doesn't matter anymore. CovrPrice.com.
You know what? You guys get CovrPrice for all that.
Is your new.
Sorry, Overstreet.
Yeah.
Plus, Overstreet, nobody grades by Overstreet anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, CovrPrice is literally real time. I'm watching my collection's value change from day to day.
And that's the reason Overstreet failed is they didn't realize that people were going to be buying online more than they bought at conventions and shows, right? And they didn't realize that, but people still buy because it's a nostalgia buy. But if you go to a convention and somebody busts open an Overstreet price guide to price something for you, buy from him.
The coolest thing about Overstreet was always like the market trend write-ups that all the people would write in. Back when I would buy it a few years ago, they were talking about the trend of Canadian price variance, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I started buying, the variants, but the price, don't buy it for the pricing, buy it for the write-ups.
But they could, forget it. I mean, I don't want to tell them how to do their business, but it's whatever. But you guys can have CovrPrice and the Lords of Long Box to tell you about stuff like that now. Yeah. So there you go.
But hell, I bet some of those old Overstreet books are worth money.
Yeah, well, just like the Wizards, I have a Wizard #1 in 8.5. So people are starting to slab like the original Wizard magazines now, which I am so tempted to crack it because I want to read it. This is like one of the few times where I looked at a slab and go, I want to read this fucking thing because I want to see what was on the top 10 for that day. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's digital versions of it, but but good old man, that was one of my favorite things to do on my LCS in the 90s.
I think someone's name was invoked, Tim.
Oh.
Shout out to Donnie Cates.
Wait, man, who said Donnie Cates?
Golden State.
No, I done said it 3 times. Shout out to Donnie Cates. Thank you for everything you do. Bon voyage to Venom. But hey, boys and girls, make sure tomorrow, since we showed you, hey, look at that. Boom. The homage to Star Wars 42. Dropping tomorrow on KRSComics.com. Use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off. Pre-sale starts at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Use the Lord's discount and get 15% off. There you go. If you want to see what's boom recently.
Oh, awesome.
Boom recently. Bam.
Sham recently.
Nice.
This is for Ryan.
Oh yes.
That's Natalie Sanders. I love we like to call that the come hither look, boys and girls. But hey, thank you guys all for joining us. Ryan, any last words?
Hey, nah.
All right, thank you. JB, any last words?
Good night, everybody.
Shout out to the chat once again, the best live chat in YouTube. And thanks to everybody that's reached out, and no, I'm not making any content right now. I'm taking care of stuff at home, but we're okay, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you for having me.
I'm
amazing.
Mikey, any last words? Anything you want to market? It may take an hour for you to tell us where you are.
I know. Yeah, catch me at GeekOssityMag.com. I've got 2 shows with Sil Abdul on Tuesday and Thursday, Geekosity Live and also Rogues Gallery. And Sunday, obviously, we'll have Letters to the Long Box, and I'm going to drop a Cannonball.
There you go.
There it is.
Werewolf by Night oriented. And answer all questions you guys have.
I think we may have to revisit the Moon Knight long-term spec list we did a while back.
We should, right? That was such a long time ago now.
It was a long time ago.
Scarlet Spider, what's a stained glass Scarlet?
Stained glass Scarlet, yeah, before anybody else even knew who she was.
Yeah. Yeah, before that girl's stole our scoop and used it for his own or whatever. I'm sorry. Anyway, hey, thank you guys all for joining us. Join me and Mikey live Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific for Letters of the Long Box. And you heard it first here. We're going to get a cannonball. And as soon as we get more details on Mikey's new comic, we will release it to you. But it's coming out soon. And we're gonna,
especially the Lords of the Long Box variant cover. I'm very proud.
Trying to get Mikey not
awesome.
to release
That's
it
so
until he
exciting.
gets a movie deal, so then that way the pre-sale will just be ridiculous, because that seems to be the thing now. If you have a movie deal, you can go to any publisher and then you can it's an Image comic now. But thank you guys all for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Awesome.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is We're here. We're back. Here's to my job. You can't get fresher than this. In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice. Oh, how so?